Hello everyone, I'm Nini FC from Blue Lions CV. Welcome to the Chelsea vs Newcastle preview. I'm joined by a special guest, Newcastle Fan TV. Hey man, if you introduce yourself.
Hey everyone, how are you doing? All right, my name's Lee and I help run Newcastle Fans TV, so thank you very much for having us on.
Yeah, thanks for coming on to. Obviously, if we're talking about Newcastle, I need to get a die-hard Newcastle fan on. Obviously, your channel's very good. A lot of great content, you guys. I'm always encouraging people to look at other people's fan channels because, again, if you're a fan of football, it's always best to get, the opinions from those fan channels. So, again, really appreciate you coming on, man. But yeah, I mean, just getting straight into things. And how are you feeling about Newcastle's season so far? Are you feeling optimistic? Are you feeling a bit pessimistic? What's your thoughts?
I don't know. It depends what week it is. It's like an episode of EastEnders up here. That's what people say. I'm trying to be as light-hearted as I can.
Yeah.
We had a troublesome summer because we're having to sell before we buy.
Yeah.
And it's difficult with Mike Ashley in charge of the ownership. And it looks like, we've got the stadium, we've got the fans, we've got a manager. I know you guys, Chelsea fans, are not great on Rafa, but we love him up here. And it's like, come on, give us some money to go and spend. We want to be ambitious. So it is a bit frustrating that we've got to go and sell and then skimp and scrape to bring players in. But it's early days. We're at the start of the season. Got a really, really tough run in. The big boys like you, we've already played Spurs, we've got Arsenal, Man City, Man United. It's a tough start, but I think realistically, Newcastle fans will probably want safety first and then go on and push and see if you can break it in that top 10 all over again.
Okay. So top 10 still pretty ambitious, of course. And yeah, I mean, in terms of the tactical aspects of the game, what is it about Rafa Benitez's system that really you feel could give you a tactical advantage against us?
Let me change that question around, Ben.
Mm-hmm.
We beat you 3-0 last game of the season.
Yeah, I haven't forgotten that.
How did we beat you that day, though? Can you tell me that?
Yeah, easily. Antonio Conte. So again, we've got Maurizio Sarri here now. The system's completely different. We're playing a much more... I mean, the style of football we're playing suits the players we do have, and I think that's the key thing. I think that obviously with Rafa Benitez, he's got a bit of a pragmatic style himself, and I think that I personally feel that when it comes to opposition teams in the Premier League, everyone kind of had the blueprint against Chelsea in previous seasons. We played a very similar style. It was pretty easy to play against us. Of course, that 3-0 win to Newcastle, one of the last game of the season. But it's completely different now. Everything's changed. The blueprint's completely different. And I think that a lot of coaches will be panicking a bit now because they have to go back to the drawing board and find some new plans to try and play against us.
I think there's a change as well from what I'm gathering, because haven't you gone back to like a flat back four? Because Conte used to play the three at the back.
Yeah.
Azpilicueta, Dave is what you call him, has moved to right back, and Marcus Alonso left back. And it's interesting seeing David Luiz back on the side as well.
Yeah.
That flamboyant centre back. So it looks like is it 4-3-3 or a 4-3-2-1, however you want to look at it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a 4-3-3, but the thing is, when we do attack, we do become a 3-4-3 in a way, but not a traditional back three in that sense. Jorginho does play a bit further up from Luiz and Rudiger to be that passing outlet to help us play out from the back. But I mean, again, it's that fluidity, it's that control of the game. When we played against Newcastle before, we didn't really control the game as well. I thought Xavi had a very good game against us, and again, he was able to have that freedom to really play his game. But I think with Sarri now, and this willingness from the team to press high, press very aggressively as well, double team opposition players on top of that too. I think that anytime you play that style of football, it just creates a lot of problems for opposition teams.
I think how we won years last year, I think it'll be quite similar. I don't think, Rafa Benitez has always sort of been renowned for this defensive coach, whereas against you lot, we didn't see any of that. We're flying bodies forward. I don't think it'll be as comfortable as it was because... we were just trying to get a top 10. Your season was practically over. You had an FA Cup final to look forward to. But I think, if Kennedy been missing, and let's just put this on record, Kennedy is a wonderful, wonderful player. I know he was in the headlines last week in the daft kick-out, which he got away with. It's the penalty in that. But he's going to be a big miss. I think Chris Natsu will probably come in there. But we want to see a bit of changes because against Cardiff last week, we were awful. And we would like to see, I think John Edlund will come in at right back because against Cardiff we had 4 right backs. That's a joke. It's an absolute joke. And then I think we'd like to see a bit of change up top because Hoslu, he's not very mobile. So coming in, bring Rondon in, bit of strength, bit of mobility, can turn your man.
Yeah.
One player is probably unknown for you guys, is the Japanese kid that we've got, Yasunori Moto. He seems to be a little bit more trickery, a bit neater on the ball.
Yeah, the Japanese forward. Yeah, he was actually linked with Chelsea a few seasons ago. We were very close to signing him, but he decided against signing for us to go to Mainz, I think, in the Bundesliga. But yeah, I mean, this guy's got a good reputation, and in that sense, I do feel that you guys made some very smart signings. I think with Rondon, I think he's a guy that can. I think he'd suit how you guys play. I think his mobility, as you're talking about, he's like a complete forward. You know, he can win the ball in the air. He can run the channels. He can hold up the ball. He can beat a man if he needs to. And I think with Muto as well, you know, he's got that trickery. You know, he can link up the play in the final third as well. I think he made some astute signings. But yeah, I mean, what other signings this season really impressed you? And actually, you know what? Before you tell me that, you guys sold Marino to Real Sociedad. Now, I thought that this guy looked pretty good whenever he played, but then later on, it seemed like he wasn't playing as much. What happened with him?
I think it was a combination of injury and Mo Diarmi just somehow turning into this world beater. Paul Pogba.
That's Diarmi, yeah.
Paul Pogba came to St James's Park and Mo Diarmi bossed him. If Paul Pogba can't boss Mo Diarmi, then there's something wrong. I think that was the case, but it was a activation clause in Marino's contract, which we had to let him go.
Yeah.
But I think the two players that need to have a great game is Jamal Lascelles and Jonjo Shelvey. We know that Southgate's England squad for this new Nations League, however this tournament's going to pan out, they'll want to step up again, because it's all right doing it against Cardiff, no disrespect, but when you're up against the likes of Morata and Hazard, is he going to start, etc., Willian and so on, you've got to perform against the big boys. And now, you know, Jamal Lascelles has got to put his reputation and Jonjo Shelvey on the line to go and say, you know what it is, we can compete against you. Like, we can play for a bigger team. I mean, we don't want them to leave Newcastle, of course not. But they've got to go and show that they can play for a bigger side. And Dubravka, I think, Dubravka and Kennedy, funny enough, who were on loan last year, those two are the big two loan signings. But I expect Lascelles and Shelvey to be up for a big time.
Yeah, exactly. And you're right with Shelvey. I think that he's key. I think when this guy is able to get on the ball and start spraying those passes, that's when Newcastle are looking much more fluid. And I think that's one thing we'll be looking to do is stop Shelvey. We'll be pressing him hard, putting two players on him to really stop him from playing his normal game. And I think that this is why I feel that we've got an advantage against you guys, because I think once we stop Shelvey, you guys got, you have no Kennedy playing on top of that as well.
Exactly.
I think that we do have a massive chance at winning that midfield battle, and then obviously just dictating the game from there.
I think you will be quite strong from going down your right side, because I'm a little bit worried about who comes in for Kennedy, because Azpilicueta is absolutely world class. No matter where he plays, centre back in the left or the right. I think if Kennedy didn't play for you guys and we had bought him, that would have been a bit more test. Would have had a bit of a more outlet. I'm just worried if it's going to be Jacob Murphy or it's going to be Atsu. Atsu's hit and miss, and Paul Dummett's not very offensive. So I think he'll be more stronger on the right. I think we'll be more stronger on our right as well with Richie and Yedlin. Now we've got Yedlin back in. But you're all right. If you stop Shelvey, you probably stop the through balls. But that's why I think we need a bit of a different direction up top, rather than just having a stable forward and Hossley. We need someone who can move. And it'll be interesting. I don't think we'll get beat though. I'm pretty confident. I'm not overconfident. But if you look at your record at St James's Park, I know you shouldn't look at records, but the last 5 games you've only drew 1 and lost the other 4. So I think we've got a little bit more confident. The flags are out as well, the Gallagher flags. You're going to have the atmosphere to live on TV. We always seem to do well on TV, so I'm pretty optimistic, mate. I don't think we'll get beat. I think you will score, though, but I'm going to probably say it's going to be a draw, me.
Okay, that's very, very optimistic. I think if it was like previous managers like Mourinho and Conte, I feel that you guys were able to, again, these are managers that don't really care about the midfield controlling the game. And I think, when you're not controlling the midfield, this is how guys like Shelvey are able to get into the game and start doing their thing. But I think due to our high pressing, I think we'll be forcing back guys like Yedlin as well. And I think that when you guys try to counter-attack, it's going to be a lot of like long balls, hopefully to Rondon, who's probably going to try and mark or get in behind guys like, Rudiger or Luiz. And I think that after a while, naturally you just get more tired playing that style of football. And I think that, again, Hazard and Kovacic probably won't even start the game. They're still not fully fit just yet, but they'll most likely come on during the second half. And it's just like, imagine bringing on 2 players of that magnitude in the second half.
I wish I could have players like that. Oh, yeah, man. But I know you beat Huddersfield quite comprehensively. I don't think it'll be that easy for you. I don't think he's just going to turn up and then it's 3 points. I think we will give you a hell of a game because we all seem to do better against the big boys. I don't know what it is. We always seem to do better, but we're the type of team that can go and beat you and then go and get beat off Cardiff. I know we drew last week, but I'm just giving you the perspective of it. I think we've got to now, for us this season, is yes, we can beat the home side big boys, but we've got to beat the teams around us. I mean, the teams around us should be, with Newcastle's size, the likes of West Ham. You know, Burnley got 7th. I mean, I'm not saying Newcastle should go and get 7th, but why can't Newcastle, I think safety, as I said already, and try and push on for that top 10, but I don't think he'll win it. I'll put my neck on the line. I don't think so.
Okay. That's okay. I feel that with how the team's developing even more under Sarri's system, I felt that game against Arsenal when we beat them 3-2. There were so many positives from that game, and I think that they really outweigh the few negatives from that. I think that the team are really raring to go. I think the squad are enjoying their football under Sarri. They're feeling much more confident in the system on top of that as well. The key players are getting fitter as well, and I think that I feel that we're going to win probably. I'll probably say 3-1. I was 2-0 or 3-1. That's the scoreline. I'm thinking.
Not having it.
Not having it. I don't know. I think that Newcastle will struggle on the counter attack.
See, I don't think we'll play on the counter. I think you'll have more possession than what you did last time, because I know I'm going back to May, but I think you will have a lot more possession, and I think you'll create a lot more than you did than the last time you up in May. But I think we won't play so defensively. I think we will come out. I think it'll be quite even. But I think you'll have more possession. It's what we do in that final third.
Yeah.
Can we hurt you? Do we have enough quality like you guys have? Probably no. But given it on the day, I'm still sticking to it. I think we'll score and I think we'll draw.
Okay, interesting. Just wanted to ask you too, you know, when it comes to obviously Newcastle, how does Rafa Benitez like his teams to break down the opposition?
You never change it. It's very rare he changes it. So you'll play the 4-2-3-1 formation, and he's quite loyal to his players. So if you perform, you start next week.
Yeah.
If you come off the bench and maybe grab an assist or score a goal, he'll reward you. He's not so much tinkering as much as what he used to be. He's got quite a settled 8 or 9 players where you'll regularly see them. When Rafa first come in, he had this massive squad to try and get rid of when we went down. And it was very much a change side all the time. But since we come up through the Championship, you can predict at least 7, 8, 9 of those players. So we've got quite a settled side. It's quite easy to do Newcastle's lineup, but I think there will be a couple of changes up top, and he'll play. It's normally quite safe. Defensively, we are absolutely brilliant at corners and offensively as well. So coming up, and most of I think it was something like 45% of our goals were set pieces last year.
Yeah.
So the big John Lascelles coming up as well from the back as well. Mo Diame, if Rondon starts, we've got a bit of a threat. I think set pieces is another weapon that we could use with the deliveries of Matt Ritchie, and possibly if Shelby takes them as well.
Yeah, exactly. But it's going to come down to the fact that whether you're going to get enough corners and if we're going to give away like stupid fouls in our own half. So, you know, with Sarri, that's something he doesn't like his teams to do as much. And I feel that, again, it's completely different to Conte. You know, with Conte, we never used to control games. We always used to give the opposition the ball because he liked his teams to sit back and soak up unnecessary pressure. And because we were so deep in our own half, there was a lot of possibilities for opposition teams to put in crosses from the half space or out wide, from set pieces, etc., etc. And I think that with how we're playing now, that's really going to limit, I feel it's going to limit Newcastle's threat when it does come to stuff like that.
I think, you know, once we go past like 10 to 15 games into the season and the bad weather start to come, that'll be a real test of what yous are made of. I don't think it's because 2 games in, I think it's too early to judge your team. I think it's too early to judge Newcastle. And I think once the winter comes, you'll have a couple of injuries coming, and then you're playing it, and you've run you'll have a bad run at some point, and it's how you react to it. Can you quickly get over it like Man City did? I think Man City's bad run was 2 games, and they got over it pretty easy. It's how quick you can. I think that's important when autumn comes, the dark nights are back and the bad weather's here, how you react to that. And that's what, from a neutral outsider looking at you guys, I think that's what will determine your season. And of course, you've got, was it Europa League?
Yeah, Europa League.
I presume you probably be playing the kids' reserves. That's
most likely.
That you don't really want. So the quicker you can get them out the way, and then later on the knockout stages, focus on playing a stronger side. But it depends. For me, I think it's autumn's crucial for you when the bad weather comes in. You've got a run of games all the time.
Okay, interesting. So the score prediction you've gone for is, it was 1-1 or 2-1?
1-1 I'm going to go for.
1-1. I've gone for 3-1, you guys. That's going to end our match preview. Thank you for watching Arnini FC. This is Blue Lions TV. Signing out.